Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the really weird lighting. This is the best spot right now in the house for good lighting, just because it's been gloomy the past few days in good old Ohio. I just felt the need to do kind of like a life update video to let you know what's been going on with me. This is also very therapeutic for me to talk about. So the beginning of October, I woke up one night, my heart was racing really, really fast, and I was having trouble breathing. And obviously this just kind of came out of nowhere. And I proceeded to go to the emergency room, had tests ran, everything came back normal. They chalked it up to being anxiety. So, you know, that was hard to accept. I felt like I just kind of had like an anxiety attack in the middle of trying to go to sleep. And so this proceeded to happen every night since that night in the beginning of October, for about a week straight. I proceeded to go ahead and schedule a doctor's appointment and to talk about just what's been going on with me. So I told her, you know, I've just been having a fast heart rate. It seemed to start more so in the evening time. When I go to lay down, it was harder to breathe. And I didn't have relief laying on either side. And I had more relief when I would, you know, prop up pillows behind my back. I was able to breathe more. And it felt like when this would happen, it would just be kind of like a snowball effect. I would get nervous about it, and then all of a sudden I would start panicking, like what's going on? And my throat would literally start to feel like it was closing and it was harder to breathe. So that just kind of added to it. And I didn't know if that was a symptom of it or just like as a result, I was just panicking. So my throat started to feel like it was kind of closing, if that makes sense. So, checked all my vitals, and my blood tests came back fine. They wanted to do an EKG, which is testing the rhythm of your heart, since I was complaining of a fast heart rate at nighttime. So my blood tests were normal, my EKG was normal. They did an ultrasound of my heart just to make sure that everything was okay. And, you know, the blood vessels and my heart was pumping correctly. And that came back fine. I even tested for heavy metals just to see if there was an imbalance, and everything came back completely normal. There were no heavy metals in my body. But one thing that has been consistent throughout this past month is I've been having very high blood pressure. Definitely, I would say high for my age, considering the fact that this kind of just came out of nowhere. And the fact that I don't have a health history. I'm very healthy. I take eating healthy very seriously. I take, you know, working out and fitness. As you can see, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting fitness videos. And, you know, this just kind of came as a shock. You know, we all have, I feel, spikes in our blood pressure when we get upset, when we get sad or mad. But it's concerning when my blood pressure is consistently high throughout the day, and, you know, consistently around the same number consecutive days. So I just kept checking it, kept monitoring it, and it continued to be the same. And, you know, my doctor wanted to put me on what's called a beta blocker. And a beta blocker basically slows the rhythm of your heart. Whenever it goes to, I guess, if you get nervous, like, you know, I tend to just get, you know, anxious about things. I would say, normal anxiety about, you know, a job interview or, you know, schoolwork or a test. I'm nothing out of the ordinary that I thought. But yeah, it seemed that, you know, I think everything that's been going on prior to the month of October with my family, my sister being in and out of the hospital, I think really took a toll on me, honestly. There were a lot of nights, honestly, would say about 5 different times that I had to rush my sister to the emergency room. And, you know, also taking into consideration that October was the 1-year anniversary of my mother's death. And I think psychologically, that had to do, you know, I guess, you know, prior to October coming up. I'm sorry, I'm like choking right now. Prior to October coming up, you know, I knew that my mother's anniversary was coming, and I had thought, you know, what am I gonna do? I haven't visited the gravesite since my mother passed. And, you know, I didn't think that I was really, really anxious or nervous about it, but that being on top of, you know, my brain and also what my sister was going through and kind of just feeling alone, just, you know, having to help her and get her back and forth and kind of just worrying about her health, period. Seeing that the fact that this was all kind of happening closer and around my mother's death anniversary, I think subconsciously was doing a number on my body. And, you know, I've never had any issues with anxiety that I know of until I guess now. And, you know, dealing with the mental, I guess, aspect of knowing that you have high blood pressure is already worrisome in itself, because that can come with other complications down the road if it's not taken care of. And, you know, obviously the fact that I'm 25 years old and my doctor's first course of action is to put me on blood pressure medication. And I understand that we have to get control of it before it gets, you know, out of hand or anything. But I just think that, you know, with prayer and meditation and me consciously still being even more so strict on my diet, then, you know, I've been a little lenient every now and again, but even more now I have to, you know, watch what I'm eating. You know, if this is all stress induced, you know, because all of my tests are coming back okay. And that's just the frustrating part about it. Like, it's one thing if it's like, oh, you know, you have high blood pressure because something else is wrong in your body, you know, and it's an imbalance, you know, it would make more sense. But for me, it's like all my tests are coming back normal. So, you know, I do have peace in knowing that everything else is okay, and I'm leaning on that and knowing that, you know, well, all my tests are coming back normal because I do take care of myself. But if this is genetic, you know, and, you know, I'm already just exposed to high blood pressure because it runs on my mother's side of the family, then okay, that's one thing. And I think that things just kind of accelerated because of what's been going on, you know, the stress subconsciously, what I was going through in my mind, just kind of took a toll on me subconsciously. And I have been really going through it this past month, honestly, just kind of obsessing over research and understanding, well, what possibly could lead to hypertension, what they call. And my doctor is telling me I don't have high blood pressure per se. You know, I haven't been diagnosed with high blood pressure, and that she wants to put me on medicine to take care of my fast heart rate that I have when the evening time comes. And, you know, if you know me, you know, I'm solely against taking, you know, pharmaceutical drugs. You know, when I think back to everything that I've gone through since about August, since I ended my internship at Procter & Gamble, I can take into account that, yes, like, I'm not in school this semester. And that's definitely bothered me, the fact that I'm not in school. I haven't been working, you know, and admitting that as well. And everything that my sister has been going through, it's like, okay, you have a reason that your blood pressure is high, and you have a reason to be stressed. And it's like, well, I've dealt with stress very, very well in the past. I would say that I've been through stressful situations before, and I guess I never thought it's never affected my sleep before to the point where it's turned into insomnia. So I think, I can't even say in the past that I've gone through a similar situation as this, because no, I've never lost my mother in the past. And I think the difference between this year and last year is that when my mom was, I would say, on her deathbed and just getting worse, I was able to drown out feelings with work. I was able to, still go to work and still focus on school. With here and there, I would break down, not saying that it didn't affect me, but I was just able to distract myself. And the difference between then and now is, like, I'm not working and I'm not in school, so I don't have those things to kind of occupy my mind. And you would think that would kind of be the opposite and adding onto the plate of things that I have to deal with. But I guess, in a productive way that allowed me to have an outlet. And right now, I have been job searching, and I have some interviews set up, thank God, this week. Not that I haven't been actively looking for a job since August. I think I did take some time off to help with my sister because she needed someone at home consistently on a regular basis. And I just thought, okay, well, I've saved up some money. Let me take some time off. This is a good time for me to just, help out around the house. And I think that, I just let time slip my fingers. And also, I was presented the opportunity to move to Los Angeles. And I think that, with that being a huge dream of mine, and just the opportunity, how it kind of came so quickly, and how I feel, maybe a certain type of person would have just taken the opportunity and not looked back and not looked at the consequences, and just literally just would have immediately just stepped and took a leap of faith. And while that's good, I felt that I had a duty to stay home and take care of my sister. And I felt that, I'm not her caretaker, and she's actually older than me, but I just feel that with the fact that our mother just passed away a year ago, I just felt that it didn't feel right, just, up and leaving with the state that she's in right now. I thought, Los Angeles will always be there. And, if it's meant to be that I move to LA, then the opportunity will be there again. But at the time, I think I really struggled with, being in Ohio my entire life and seeing, a lot of my family members move out of state. I think that, I thought, wow, now this is my opportunity to move away and get away and not necessarily run from my problems, but maybe subconsciously I thought that, oh, I can have a fresh start. I won't necessarily have these problems that I have, when I move to LA. And I feel like a lot of people probably think that, they think that once they move somewhere that problems won't necessarily follow them. And I don't think that I viewed Los Angeles in that way. I just think that, just being around the people that I would have been around would have given me the motivation and the spark to follow my dreams. And I know that you have to make risks in order to follow your dreams and your passions. It's not easy to do that, especially to really engulf yourself in your passion and really just, not listen to other people's opinions of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. But for me, it was just more so morally and emotionally I just thought that, if I left back in September when I was supposed to leave for LA, if I left then and, been gone for a week and then something would have happened to my sister, I wouldn't have been able to forgive myself. And I think just carrying that, knowing my mother's death anniversary was coming up, the fact that I'm not in school and I made some mistakes this past summer, it all just kind of took a toll on me, and it's showing in my blood pressure right now. And I just wanted to put awareness out there to get your blood pressure checked, because sometimes your blood pressure doesn't even show symptoms. And prior to this, I didn't go to the doctor that much, and I treat myself pretty holistically when it comes to colds and medication. I don't get sick that often at all. So it's like every ailment that came my way, I was able to tackle it with a remedy at home. So just dealing with that and having to just deal with the pressures of life, being a 25-year-old and not exactly knowing where I'm going, so to speak, but also having so many blessings in the midst of chaos, it seems, just kind of shows me, and this gives me a platform to talk about it. And it was just really, really hard to finally get out of that dense fog I was in for the month of October, just kind of obsessing over the fact that I have had high blood pressure this week and I don't have a cause of it per se, and I'm not able to treat it head on with good green foods and acupuncture, because I haven't been working recently and having to lean on my loved ones financially right now. I'm just so grateful that I have had my loved ones to lean on recently, and I just am really, really thankful for this realization and what I call a paradigm shift. And when you have a paradigm shift, it's like how you look at your particular situation, the window in which you see life. And my paradigm shift, I would say, came from me realizing, like, look, you have a platform to speak on now. So many people might be going through a similar situation, whether it's like an anxiety issue, whether it be from health or just like a traumatic event that happened a year ago that somehow affected you 1 year from then. Like, my mother's death was extremely traumatic, and I thought I processed it well. Well, that was really annoying. My camera just all of a sudden said it was overheating. Guess that means I'm talking too much. But no, I was saying that I thought I processed my mother's death. I mean, you never really get over it. It's only been a year. But, I don't think that I was numb to it, or I just couldn't accept it. I definitely had a hard time dealing with it afterwards. But just the fact that I didn't take off work. Honestly, I didn't take off work at all. I continued to go to school. I didn't drop out of school. I think that it just kind of built up in my system. And, I just thought it was extremely ironic that all this happens exactly 1 year from my mother's death anniversary. And, anxiety, we like to say, oh, I have such anxiety about this, or I have anxiety about, I'm anxious, and never really understand what anxiety truly is. And I'm finally understanding that, and I'm finally realizing you have to be careful with what you say. And, words are powerful. Your thoughts, your subconscious thoughts are powerful, but I know that my God is stronger than any of this. And I know I'm already healed, and I am much stronger than any of this. And I just want to take all of you on my journey, and I want to let you know that if you're going through something similar, to be encouraged and know that we all have some sort of mountain placed in front of us that we have to use certain tools to get us over the mountain. And you know, there are no valleys, there are no good times without mountains, whatever the case may be. If you've lived a good and privileged life throughout your whole life, you're going through something. And you know, some may feel like you go through a lot more than others. And to me, I just take that as I have a calling. I have a huge calling, and I'm not going to be limited or stopped just when I feel like I'm peaking, or just when I feel like I have so much going that, you know, another mountain is thrown in my face. And I just have to be careful in these times not to manifest something deeper in my body just by thinking that something is wrong, or even thinking that something has to be wrong with me to have this high blood pressure. It could simply just be stress. So how do I move forward? Eat healthy, continue eating healthy, incorporate, you know, meditation, get back into my yoga on a daily basis now, and just watch the type of people that I hang around. And those type of people can be energy draining, and they can influence their moods on you, and that's super, super important. But just please let me know if you've heard of this before, or you know somebody that's dealt with kind of high blood pressure for really no other known cause. And I just wanted to use this as a platform to, you know, again, be encouraged. And I want to take you guys and my subscribers and whoever's watching through this journey, and showing you that we can heal ourselves, and how our thoughts are just so powerful. And, you know, I'm using this as an opportunity to grow and not be stopped in what I feel like I need to be doing with my life. You know, and this is extremely therapeutic, talking in front of a camera, especially about deep topics like this. It's one thing if it's kind of just superficial and materialistic, you know, it seems like it's more, it's not real. It's kind of like scripted, but no, this is real. This is coming from my heart. This is coming from me. So yeah, please subscribe if you're interested in seeing me on my journey. If you want to, I don't know, you just need some sort of inspiration. I would really appreciate you liking this video and commenting your story, sharing your story, please. I will see you guys in my next video.